that was very lame, wasn't it?
This isn't what I wanted.
You and me both, Shiki. Hi, I'm Arcueid, back with Tsukihime. Last time, Arcueid left us behind, and Shiki became despondent. At school, called to stay late, but seemingly forgotten. He was attacked by the bandaged man from some nights ago, and learned that this is Roa. Also, Shiki, as opposed to Shiki, two boys who shared the same name. The same past Shiki has been seeing over and over again. Shiki and Shiki, only one of which is actually Roa. And he stabbed Shiki in the chest. Luckily, Shiki was rescued by Shiel again, and taken to the Tono mansion instead of a hospital, as you do, where Shiki makes a miraculous recovery, with Akiha's help somehow. And apparently, she also helped Shiki when he was almost killed by Shiki in that awful event 8 years ago. Also, Shiki was adopted, so he and Akiha aren't blood-related, and the sister route is less weird, but still pretty weird. Furthermore, we recap that Shiki has no memories of what his life was prior to being taken into the Tono family. Why did the Tono head adopt this seemingly normal boy, who would develop the eyes of mystic death perception? They can speculate it was a whim, since Shiki's name was the same as his existing son, Shiki, but they don't really attempt to theorize much. An effective hook for Akiha's route. How dare you? I just wanted answers. Apparently, due to the inhuman blood in the Tono family, Shiki had an inversion. Basically, went nuts and attacked his adopted brother, Shiki. So Tono's late adoptive father killed Shiki as a result, allegedly, and Akiha managed to use some power to save Shiki's life. Then he recovered at the hospital like we saw at the very beginning and took on the role of the only son of the Tono family, while Akiha, as an actual bloodline individual, became the heir. Then Shiel comes in to provide more exposition around Roa/Shiki and such as Shiki made a recovery from death. Roa Shiki similarly ended up recovering. Maybe dear dead dad didn't really kill his son, who knows. But Shiki is also the idiot who decided Shiki was to blame for taking his life, and wanted revenge by killing him. Hence the knife in Shiki's chest. It's okay, he got better. In fact, he's got to go after Roa himself to help Arcueid. Shiel then presses Shiki about why he's trying so hard to help and stay with Arcueid. I have a whole list of umpteen reasons why, and Shiki gives a very moving speech about his feelings for her. Which turns out, Arcueid heard all of that. She was in the tree just outside, but didn't show her lovely face. Now we're doing the noble sacrifice for each other sort of thing, because she's off to face Roa alone. And Shiki threatens Shiel so we can follow after and help her. Shiel has no reason to do that, but goes along with it, and I'm okay with that. It's probably because she's planning to use Arcueid and Shiki to weaken Roa so she can finish him off when they fail. Love the vote of confidence. And I still have a feeling she might show up as the cavalry after Arcueid's looking a little dead, of course. Which is our job to prevent, if we can. Don't know if we'll get that option. Will Shiki be okay? Supposedly he's on death's door. I'm sure he'll be fine. But either way, we're heading back into Shiki's school to face Roa, take down the big bad, and save Arcueid.
Senpai disappears towards the building like a black shadow. Well, time to go. I push my body, which hurts every time I move, and run into the school building. The school building is full of cracks. As if a small typhoon was let loose inside, they shift higher and higher. It seems the fight between Arcueid and Roa already began. Upstairs. I spit this out as I dash up the stairs. I gasp for air. I make it to the 4th floor. The cracks running through the walls continue down the hallway and to the passageway which connects the two buildings. Dang it! I somehow manage to move my wavering legs and run towards the connecting passageway. I pass through the hallway and reach its intersection with that passageway. That's the last stop. In the middle of the passageway, two figures are glaring at each other from a distance. Shiki stands at the end of the passageway, reaching to the nearby building, wide open. And in the very center, Arcueid is kneeling on the floor, breathing hard. Arcueid! I start to dash towards her, but before then, Arcueid, still kneeling, looks up at me intensely. I can't move. The instant her eyes fixate on me, my body, as if it became stone, doesn't move at all. How awful. Binding your friend with your mystic eyes like that. It would have been okay for you to let him die with you. Shiki, no, Roa, laughs amusedly. Mystic eyes, why is Arcueid using this on me? Finally, even though I finally made it here on time, why? Why, Arcueid? Arcueid looks away from me and directs her gaze at Roa. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't say anything to me. She only glares at the enemy in front of her as she breathes painfully. Why? I can't even shout out. Not because of her mystic eyes, but I've finally made it here. Cursing my ineffectiveness, my body which I forced for so long starts to lose its heat. Roa laughs loudly as he watches the two of us. I see. You are finally prepared, princess. Roa leisurely walks over to Arcueid. Arcueid remains kneeled, unmoving. My, you're pretty good, Shiki. It seems the princess here is going to fight me to save you. If it were the former princess, you would be terrifying, but you are now just a regular vampire. You don't even have the power of a true ancestor anymore. Jeez, it would have been better if only you fell to your desires.
Quiet.
Arcueid's voice echoes through the hallway. What is this? If it's not a hallucination, everything around Arcueid starts to waver. Roa stops walking forward. Marble phantasm. You can still use that. As to be expected from the royalty of the true ancestors. Roa retreats fearfully. However, you cannot win against me, because I have something you lack. Arcueid stops breathing, as if ceasing all movement in order to gather up all her strength. You know, don't you? Right, it is the experience of death. I know what death is, but you do not. That is our difference. Well, as long as something is alive, it cannot experience death. The only one who knows is probably only an infinite reincarnator like me.
Although by that logic, I don't think he knows what dying is either.
The wavering of everything around Arcueid grows stronger. Humans are instinctually afraid of the unknown. This does not change even for transcendent races like the true ancestors. No matter how much of the occult you study, no matter how long-lived you are, you cannot experience death. You will gain so much power by resisting death, but at the same time it is the source of your weakness. You run away from death, whereas I accept it.
By that logic, aren't you the one running away the hardest? I just don't buy anything this guy is saying.
That is the difference in nature between you, Arcueid Brewstud, and I, Michael Roa Valdemion. Even now I live as a human in this age. An out-of-place ghost like yourself has no right to judge me. The glass along the passageway starts to break. I know about death. About the darkness. The nothingness which I have journeyed through so many times. To me, death is little more than a common ritual. Let's say you destroy this body right here. I'll still remain in this world. Why don't you understand it's useless to fight me? Roa spreads his arms higher. Arcueid doesn't answer. All right. If you still insist on challenging me, I will not stop you. Your resistance will be rewarded. Roa lowers his arms and crouches. Everything around Arcueid seems on the verge of bursting apart. I can't speak. This isn't good. My brain screams to me. I shouldn't let this happen. I don't know why. I don't even have proof. Someone who has seen lots of death can tell Roa and Arcueid which one of them is closer to death. Stop! I can't speak. I can't. The sound of the air itself ripping apart. The warping of Arcueid's surroundings propagates along the entire passageway. The entire hallway pulses. The glass windows, the walls, the hallway, the whole building, they become roiling waves, as if they were a shredder with tens, hundreds, thousands, no, a countless number of blades. In a single instant, Roa's body disappears. Distorted, sliced, compressed. All that remains are his ankles. The sliding of the hallway ceases.
Dang, she's got a really good noble phantasm. I'm sorry, marble phantasm. Same thing.
Maybe it only lasted a moment. The passageway is like it was before. Only all that's left are Roa's ankles. But it didn't end there. The ankles start to move. They start to run towards Arcueid. As they do, with each step, a leg, his hips, his other leg, his torso, his arms sprout to life. Arcueid is still kneeling, not moving. Directly in front of her, Roa's neck and head come back into being. I couldn't warn her in time. The completely regenerated Roa slices through her stomach, like cutting cleanly through the line with no slicing of flesh, no flowing of blood. That was close. I knew it was correct to choose tonight. If the moon was waning even the slightest bit, I could not have regenerated from just an ankle. And Princess, you cannot regenerate from that wound. My claws have the same ability as that man over there. Arcueid collapses to the floor. This is the power I got from experiencing death. Ironically, I did not know how to use this myself, but he taught me. For someone who has seen death, perceiving its form was not difficult. Roa boasts as he kicks Arcueid. Her body tumbles towards me. Arcueid! I can move again. It's because the power behind her mystic eyes has vanished. It means her power is no longer working. Dang! Shaking the thought from my mind, I hold her close. A chill runs through me the instant I hold her. Her body is terribly cold. The only heat left within her is like a candle about to go out. Roa still stands before us, but I don't care about that. Right now, I just want to help Arcueid. Arcueid! I call out to her. Her closed eyes open energetically as if waking from a dream.
That was very lame, wasn't it?
With patchwork brightness, Arcueid puts forth a strained smile. What kind of stupid things are you saying? Why did... I can't speak clearly. I wanted to say something more, something better, but my brain doesn't work. I can't be calm now. As I hold her, the lack of lingering warmth in her body tells me it's hopeless. If I took off my glasses, there's no doubt I would see something even more hopeless. More than anything, I don't want to see that. Why? It's all I can manage to say. Exasperated at myself, I hold her tightly. There's no embrace in response. She doesn't have any strength left in her. All she does is smile happily. No! This can't be happening. Why did... Why did you do it all by yourself? We're partners. We said we'd help each other. To the very end.
Oh, yeah. That's right, yeah. I kind of forgot.
How can you forget? This makes me useless. I said I would help you. I said I would definitely help you. But I couldn't even help one bit.
No, that's not it at all, Shiki. You've helped me more than enough. That's why it's enough already.
She coughs up blood and smiles painfully.
So, I wanted to thank you. In the end, I'm glad I was able to protect you from Roa.
I gasp. Arcueid's glazed over eyes don't see anything. Not her wound, or even Roa who still lives. Her time, since attacking a while ago, ended right then. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. I can't even lie properly. The light in her eyes is fading. Her body warmth is rapidly approaching zero. I'm going to lose. Am I going to lose her like this? Arcueid.
Yes?
Drink my blood. If you do that, you'll get your power back. Not even thinking, I scream that out. She doesn't answer, but slightly, she shakes her head. Why? Don't tell me you're still scared. Look, you said it before, right? You asked what if birds or fish had the same amount of intelligence. Could I eat them? I would. If it meant I would live, I would. Isn't stealing things from others to live a natural law of the world? That's what she said herself back then. So why? Why does she just shake her head with those pitiful eyes?
I don't like talking about what-ifs.
A denial. But that was my line back then. But she said before, she likes playing what if, because it feels like there's hope. Really? I like what ifs, even if it's sugarcoating things. I feel there's always some hope, isn't there? But I can't finish. My throat is just so tight. I can't speak properly.
That's true. But right now, there's something else I want more.
With a wavering voice, I ask her what it is.
Yeah, I want you to kiss me, Shiki.
What? Such a simple thing? Is that alright? I press my lips to hers. It isn't sweet like before, or gentle. Just a kiss, where I press my lips against her cold lips, without any warmth. After that, she smiles, as if extremely happy.
I always wanted to do something like that.
Oh? You really like strange things.
Yes, but I'm still happy. Just that felt so good. I've lived for so long, but I've never been this happy like I am now.
So,
I kind of thought to myself, maybe disappearing like this might be good.
after murmuring such a thing, all warmth disappears from her body. Arcueid? There's no response. Even though her body is still here. Even though her body is still this soft. Even though I still remember the sound of her voice in my ears. Never again. None of this will ever happen again. What have I been doing? I wanted to make her happy. I wanted to teach her so many things. I wanted to take her to so many places. I wanted to be with her forever, but it can never happen. She's done it. No matter how you look at it, there's nothing more. Suddenly, before I could say the right thing, she went off and passed away by herself. For my entire life, I won't be able to forget this. This death. This maddening calmness. I'll never forget it. I hear the footsteps of the man who is watching it all. Finished, Shiki. Yeah, it's finished. Answering, I turn towards my enemy. We face each other in the moonlit hallway. Roa doesn't move from the spot where Arcueid was before. He was watching everything silently, probably because he knew he was in a dominant position. I didn't think you were still alive. Roa says this casually, as if nothing has happened. I take off my glasses and ready my knife. It seems those who can see death are good at escaping death. It isn't a matter of the strength or weakness of your life. However, normally people call that useless effort. You're one to talk. You and I, we've already died once. Exactly, Roa says as he smiles. Those returning from the dead can understand death. You and I are special cases of that kind. I've experienced death 17 times before I got to this, but you've only done it once. Honestly, it must be the difference in our latent ability. I am really curious what kind of ability it would have been if I had reincarnated in your body. A bothersome, overly composed voice. Just hearing it makes my head hurt. I have 2 things to ask you, and 1 thing to tell you. I manage to say this while my head fills with pain. Oh, alright, go ahead. Probably because he's so absolutely confident in his dominating position, Roa responds amusedly. The first question is the most important. Why did you kill Arcueid? Why? She was trying to kill me, so wasn't it natural to kill her back? Well, the one I desired wasn't this weak princess who came here. My current self could have taken apart the princess while she lived. But there's no point in taking in a true ancestor no different from a regular vampire. So I figured there was no value in taking her in, and decided to settle it. Even I'm disappointed with the way things have turned out. Twisting his lips, the enemy laughs. My head hurts. Hurry, I have to kill him as fast as possible. I can't stand him existing a single second longer. Well, what do you plan on doing now? Don't tell me you think you can fight me in your condition. Resisting is useless, Shiki. I know that more than anyone else. Dizziness causes me to collapse to my knees. But still, even if I don't have any power left to even stand, I gaze at him. Enough, enough! Even if you see my death, if you can't touch me, it's meaningless. You know, Shiki, I'm rating your ability rather highly. Yes, it seems Shiki's personality is fading away. Since he has avenged you, I'm more Roa than Shiki now. Well, it doesn't really matter. Roa takes another step forward. Isn't this power wonderful, Shiki? You should be happy. We're probably the only ones who possess the mystic eyes of death perception in the entire world. It would be a shame to lose such a rare ability, and more than anything else, we're the same entity. We can understand each other more than anyone else. There's no other partner who would assure me as you. You're trying to tell me to be your partner? not asking. I'm letting. I don't care about what you want. That would only get in the way. You can relax. After I drink your blood and plunder even your soul, I'll make you into an existence where you won't hesitate to use your power. The gritting of my teeth. I see. Then the next question. What you see, are they lines or points? No, I'll make it simpler. You can only see it on living things, right? You can't possibly see it on anything else. Of course. Non-living things don't have any life. Only living things have this place indicating the source of life.
Oh, I think they just gave away the game. Because, Shiki's done this since the beginning. Dude, is he gonna collapse the hallway on them? That would be so anime.
I thought so. I understand completely, vampire. I grip my knife. The headache completely governs the inside of my brain, and all I can see is one thing. You're not being clear, and those aren't really fitting final words. But enough talk. There's also the hiding woman from the church I have to deal with. You're lucky, Shiki. Once I make you my subordinate, your first opponent will be that woman you trust. Roa approaches. My wavering vision isn't fixated on his figure. What you and I see are totally different, Shiki. In the back of my head, a switch turns on. All you're seeing is life. You don't understand death at all. That's why you can't kill me, and you're only able to kill a weakened woman. My brain reaches a white heat. What? If you could see death, you couldn't maintain your sanity. All you can perceive is the part which keeps things alive. If you could see death, you couldn't even manage to stand. To give an example, it is the world on the moon. Everything is like a desolate wasteland. The seam of death on everything I see. Events of the world which disappear when I touch them. What are you? Being able to see the death of things means you are forced to see the world's uncertainty and fragility. The ground is like it's not there, and the sky seems about to fall at any moment. What are you talking about? Roa's voice falters. Of course, because he can't even understand the slightest bit of what I'm saying. In other words, his eyes and mine may be similar, but they're completely different things. Stop it! Those eyes! Don't look at me with those eyes! Fear mixes into Roa's voice. He even said it himself. Humans are instinctually afraid of the unknown. You don't know of the illusion that the whole world could perish in an instant. That is what it means to see death. These eyes, this power isn't something you can boast about like you did. Yeah, back then, I was even scared of walking. Even I would. If I hadn't met that person, I would have long since been insane. That's your mistake, vampire. Life and death may be back to back, but they will never face each other. I'm telling you, don't look at me with those eyes! The sound of running footsteps. But I'm many times faster. I'll show you. This is what it means to kill something. Saying that, I thrust through the hallway's point on the floor. Instantaneously, the lines racing through the passageway undulate. Whoa! Even the sound of Roa's screaming voice is buried amidst the crashing rubble. The passageway is literally killed. The blocks which lost their meaning break apart and crumble away. For Roa, it must have been a total surprise attack. Pulled down by the destruction of the hallway and the collapsing rubble, Roa falls to the earth. In front of my very eyes, the passageway crumbles away. Enduring the pain in my head and the burning in my body, I head to the stairs. I head past Arcueid's corpse and hurry to the courtyard. Under the moonlight, the courtyard under the passageway has become a sea of rubble. In its center, something moves. He really is sly when dealing with death. I pull my almost collapsing body towards it. He's really something. The lower half of Roa's body is almost completely gone. Yet, coming out from underneath the rubble, the upper half of his body still moves, ignoring that fact. This amount of life may almost be something worthy of respect. What was that? Quivering, Roa wonders aloud. Walking on top of the rubble, I move directly in front of him. Shiki! Roa lifts his head to look at me. His eyes seem to practically ooze with hatred. You monster! His voice equally full of indignant hatred. Who is? Replying, I stand in front of him. Roa's death is just a little right of his heart. I lightly thrust my knife forward. A sensation like piercing paper. That feeling is indeed death. Oh! Roa gives a small scream. He's someone who has experienced death. He should know this feeling really well. You're not scared, are you? It's a path you're quite familiar with. If there's a difference, it's only one thing. This time, you can't come back. I pull out my knife and turn away from Roa. Roa isn't dead yet. Like Arcueid, someone as long-lived as him will linger just a little longer. I breathe weakly. My mind wavers. If my body is at its limit, then my head is past its limits. Arcueid even said back then, I shouldn't force myself to look at the death of non-living things. If I do it too much, the blood vessels in my brain will burn away. I don't care about that. It would have been alright. Even if I turned myself into a vegetable, it would have been worth it to stop Roa sooner. That way he wouldn't had to have... I collapse. I fall on the ground. My ankles are in pain. I turn around to see the upper half of Roa's body, which crawled this far. You! With bloodshot eyes, he makes his way onto my collapsed body. Fading, disappearing, I am His bloody arms wrap around my neck. Why, I disappear? How did you kill me? Me! Opening his saw-like mouth, he moves to bite my neck. I won't disappear. You and I are connected, you see. You transfer my existence. Links cannot be cut. His teeth dig into my neck. He vanishes. Roa's body falls apart in a single instant.
Hey, Shield. So you're kind of the cavalry, but not really. Well, better late than never, I guess. Yes. With this, it means I'm the one who killed him.
Senpai says this, sword in hand and breathing happily. Eh? I don't quite understand.
I'm saying I'm the one who killed Roa. No matter who your opponent is, you should not kill humans. You are not someone who should come to my world. So I'm the one who killed him.
Senpai says this haughtily as she places her hands on her hips. Senpai, That's just sugarcoating it.
Maybe it is. But it's a kind lie, so isn't it okay? Even if it is hypocrisy, doesn't it allow room for hope somehow?
Those words are similar. When I told her not to talk about what-ifs, she answered with something like that. Yeah, that's right. Somehow, somewhere, if there's hope, then how happy can that be?
But that isn't really important, is it? Are you okay, Tono-kun? Were you bitten?
Senpai rushes quickly to care for me. My consciousness fades away. I don't want to move anymore, and my brain wants to rest.
Kun? Shiki! Hey!
Farther and farther away. Eyes still open, with the glass-like moon overhead, my consciousness completely ceases. As it happens, I think to myself how it seems just like a television being switched off.
Tsukihime, an epilogue. Shiki-sama, it is morning. Please wake up.
I hear a familiar voice.
Shiki-sama, please wake up. If you are late like yesterday, you will break your promise with Akiha-sama.
A voice partly tense, partly relaxed.
Shiki-sama, is it okay? Akiha-sama will end up scolding you again.
No, it's not okay at all. I'm up, so hold on. Still under the sheets, I respond as I slowly open my eyes.
Good morning, Shiki-sama.
Morning. I give a sleepy greeting in response and put on my glasses. It's past 7 in the morning. Hisui came at her usual time and managed to wake me.
I'll prepare your breakfast. After changing, please head towards the dining room.
Hisui disappears from the room after a bow. I give a big yawn. After a nice stretch, I get up from bed. I change into my school uniform and cast a glance at my desk. On top is the knife I will not ever use again. The curtains sway in the wind. Hisui must have opened the window. The sky is refreshingly clear. It's just a little cold, though. I approached the window to close it. As it turned out, I ended up waking in my own room. It seems Senpai carried me here. Fortunately, Akiha and the others didn't know I left. It's been 1 week since that night. Tonoshiki's life hasn't changed a bit from what it was before. My relationship with Akiha is a bit uneasy at times, but of course we're brother and sister. Except for that passageway being repaired, the school has not changed at all. No, it did change. At school, there's no senpai called Shiel anywhere, nor does anyone remember her. The instances of serial murders haven't occurred once since then. Since there's been no official arrest, the city streets are still relatively empty at night, but it'll probably return to normal in a month. As for me, I carry an unfillable void in my heart, but I continue on as I did before. Or rather, I can bear it all. At times I get overwhelmed when I'm assailed by memories, but I don't think I'll go insane or anything for now. Someday. Will I go crazy after not being able to bear these memories? Or will I just return to living normally after getting used to them? Perhaps it's about a 50-50 chance. But until then, even if it is a little girlish, I will keep the final promise I made with her every day. Autumn is drawing to a close, isn't it? The blue sky outside is enough to take my breath away. Taking a large, deep breath, I shut the window. Classes end, and the classroom empties, but I won't leave until the sun sets completely. The red classroom. The burning sunset spreads outside the window. The sun flushes red as it sinks deep in the sky. I'll always be waiting here. I'll remember my unforgettable promise. I'll continue waiting here forever. There's still one promise I haven't been able to fulfill. When this is all over, when we're done defeating this vampire, before we part, can't we do something like this just once more? Back then, she tilted her head to the side in confusion. So I really was wondering, what would happen if we were to meet again, without any responsibilities? If we just met, for no particular reason? When I said those words, I was only thinking about her. If you're too busy, then it's okay. I only thought of it just now, anyway. Just, not as two people cooperating, but as two friends who got along, not doing anything in particular. If we could create some normal memories like that, I knew she would be happy.
Okay. When everything's over, let's come here again, Shiki. It won't have any meaning, but I'm sure it will be really, really fun.
After her eyes widened in surprise, she nodded. In the classroom bathed by the sunset, Arcueid smiled and made that promise with me. I remember that promise. I remember that smile. I remember everything. I can't forget. I won't forget. I'll always, always remember the promise we made in the room ablaze with the sunset to meet here again. The sun sinks further. These hours until the vermilion fades completely, the quiet time until the crimson sky disappears. This eternal, fleeting instant of a world standing still. Maybe I am already crazy. Even though I'm waiting for someone who will never come, my heart is horribly calm.
Because what is Arcueid and Shiki's love language? Waiting on each other. This is sad, though.
The sound of something touching a desk. I look. A window is open. I realize that, painted in red sunlight, she is standing by the window. She doesn't move at all, but she's there. She's right in front of me. She's not an illusion. But I feel like there is a distance which can never be spanned between us. I can't speak, but I feel so terribly calm now.
Jeez. I really was planning on disappearing, Shiki. But you'd just wait forever. I couldn't just leave you alone like that, so I came here.
She smiles bashfully. Well, you know, I did say I was never going to break a promise with you again.
That's true. Thanks for keeping that promise. But I'm sorry. It seems this time that I'm the one who won't be able to keep it.
Why? I'm surprised myself. I asked her this in a truly gentle voice, without any anger at all.
Yeah, I never did tell you my reason for pursuing Roa. Actually, a long time ago, I once drank human blood. At that time, the human stole some of my powers and became an incredibly strong dead apostle. In the end, he ended up killing all the other true ancestors except for me.
Then that means... you mean Roa?
I feel like this was a major bombshell than they're actually treating it, because she just admitted she lied, like a lot, with this whole she actually did drink human blood. She has her own dead apostle, and of course she has some deeper tie with Roa. There's probably more of their backstory that's actually covered in the other roots, so they're probably just going to gloss over the fact that she lied once before. Hey, Arcueid, can you lie one more time and stay with us forever, please? That'd be super nice. For all of us. Yes. Until that time, I never knew about the vampiric impulse. The other true ancestors also believed I did not have it. But it was too late. Until then, I didn't even know I was a vampire. So, I didn't even know it was something I shouldn't do.
I see. Never having been taught anything extra, she wasn't even taught she was the same as those she killed.
Because of just one mistake, I destroyed everyone. So I won't drink human blood again. But a true ancestor that has drank blood once cannot remain sane without doing it again. I can only be here because you completely killed Roa. Even though I annihilated him so many times, it was only his flesh and not his soul. But you killed his existence completely, Shiki. So, the power he stole returned to me, and I somehow managed to revive. Then doesn't that mean we can stay together? Like you've got some of your power back and everything could be hunky-dory? Maybe?
That doesn't...
But that's all I can do. I can no longer resist the vampiric impulse inside me. So...
That doesn't matter.
Shiki, I can't see you again. Sorry for breaking our promise.
That doesn't matter to me. I just want you to be by my side, that's all. You can keep your promise.
Shiki.
Drink my blood. If you do, you can keep your promise. Time passes by. Neither of us says anything. And after a truly maddening silence...
I see. But I can't. I don't need your blood, Shiki.
Why? Is my blood not good? Do you have a reason for not drinking it? She nods.
I like you, so I won't.
She smiles like a flower blooming triumphantly. I suck in a large amount of air and just try to suppress this feeling. I want to stop her. 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 Even if I have to kill her, I want to stop her. But her smile is just too gorgeous. I can't selfishly bring myself to ruin it.
Goodbye. I really am grateful for everything, Shiki.
My throat trembles and no sound comes out. But still, I have to say goodbye. I'm a liar.
Why? You kept your promise, Shiki.
Just a worthless liar. I said I would make you happy. Yes, I vowed to.
No, not at all. I will sleep from now on, but I will always be dreaming of you. I enjoyed our time together so much. I will always be dreaming about it. It won't have any meaning, but I'm sure it will be really, really fun. So Shiki, I really am happy. You really did make me happy.
Dang. My throat is filled up. I don't want such a...
You really are kind, Shiki. Yeah, I knew coming here to say goodbye was a good thing. I love you, Shiki. Your honesty, how you're always spaced out, how I'm the only one you yell at, how you always look forward to the future. I love all of you. So please, keep living like that, okay?
For just an instant, she smiles sadly. She waves her hand, and as if fading into the sunset itself, she disappears before my very eyes. I grit my teeth, trying to hold it in. She was smiling until the very end, so at least I didn't want to cry. The classroom is empty. I see. You really did keep your promise. In this classroom, our promise to meet again in the classroom as the sun set. She definitely kept it. There are some things I lost, but it is now over. The curtain has fallen cleanly over the time I knew her, the time I ran through with her. Come to think of it, a farewell is always there. In our case, our farewell was only early. Thinking of it that way, this was a really satisfying farewell. She was still alive, and she told me she's still happy. No, not like this. This isn't what I wanted.
You and me both, Shiki.
Right. More. I wanted to be with her more. I wanted to talk with her more. I wanted to feel the warmth of her body more. More. I wanted to see her smile more. Always. Not like this, but always. I wanted to make her happy. But she, smiling to the end, she left me behind, telling me to live. That stupid idiot. That was her final wish. With a smile, she told me no matter how hard it is, even if I have to deceive myself right now, until I can finally see it all as simply a memory, to keep looking forward to the future and live. There's no way I can do that. I don't have the slightest confidence to live like that. Still, so that she can see a happy dream, I have to at least grant her wish. I realize the sun has long since sank. The crimson sky is painted over in a dark blue. The dark night sky. The spiral wisps of clouds and a bright white moon. They are all that's left, but an extremely beautiful memory. I exhale slowly as if praying. She may no longer be here, but I have to say what I forgot to say earlier. Goodbye. I had a lot of fun, too. Those extremely late words of farewell echo through the classroom. Only the glass-like moon hangs in the night sky. The distant blue moon looking as if it would shatter if touched. For a long time, until dawn, I keep looking up at it. The end.
So, that's the end of Tsukihime, Arcueid's Route. The true ending. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like how it ended. Fate's Day Night had a similar ending where Shiro was unable to be with Saber in the very end. So, I probably shouldn't be surprised, but there's still something very unsatisfying about it, you know? We went through so much together, and in the end it was only that time that we were able to spend. And it's not even for a good reason. She just takes off at the end there. She shows up to say, hey, you were waiting on me, but I gotta go, and I'm not coming back. And in the end, it's this one-sided ultimatum that he has to accept. They don't really talk about it. There's no give and take. There's no compromise. There's no potentiality for it. It's not even brought up as part of discussion. And what's worse is it's not like a straight out rejection of she's got to go do a thing and she's going without him. If I could pull a Utena ending just going after her, we march into the castle, we barge through the doors, we go find her little sleeping coffin, and we wake her up and say, hey, we both have limited time. But I think it's more meaningful for both of us to spend it together. And I think that's true. Because it did seem like they really cared about each other, and I liked that. That was the nicest part about this whole route, was just whenever they were backhandedly considerate for each other. They weren't very good at communicating their feelings or any of the rest of it, but through it all, their actions spoke louder than a lot of their weird little prodding words, which was essentially came down to they cared. They cared and they wanted to take care of each other and protect each other. And that was nice. I still can't tell if Shiel was kind of an ally or an unwitting ally. I'm sure she's got her own story. She's certainly got her own route. But this was really fun. Tsukihime is really something else. Oh. You have reached Arcueid's true ending. Yeah, but it's not the good ending. Or the best ending. Well done. Each heroine, with one exception, has two different kinds of endings, a true ending and a good ending. After reaching one of the endings, please go back a little and re-advance through the story. A different event should await you. So basically, there are options that are definitely locked behind route completion, which is pretty typical of a visual novel, but narratively, it does make sense. They want certain reveals to be revealed in a specific order. Well then, thank you very much for playing up to this point. Let's meet again somewhere in Tsukihime. Yeah, we'll see about that, Shiel. So, that was Tsukihime, Arcueid's route, the true ending. But I'm not wholly satisfied with that, the way things ended, the way we parted. That we couldn't be together no matter what. And I know we're not going to focus too much on the fact that she lied, but given the noble sacrifice aspect and all the rest of it, I almost wonder if she was lying about the fact that she did taste blood. Because that's a heck of a reveal to give in an epilogue chapter, right? But what do I know? Maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. Maybe it was her excuse, maybe it wasn't. But if there is an ending where we can be together, I know that's the ending I want to see. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope this is entertaining, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. The story's had a lot of twists and turns, and there's still a lot of questions that remain unanswered. One of the main ones is about Arcueid's other ending. Is there a best ending where we can stay together? I guess we'll find out, maybe. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!